Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Lee, and I'm here today with my teammate Ricky and Andrea. Prison Visiting Solution is a public benefit corporation with a mission to lower recidivism by making prisons visits safe, convenient, and affordable, and emotionally supportive for inmates, families, and friends. At Prison Visiting Solutions, we are not just providing transportation, we are helping rebuild lives, one visit at a time. Here's the challenge we are tackling. More than 80% of prisoners are housed over 100 miles away from their families. For many families, especially those with limited resources, visiting becomes almost impossible. Affordable transportation options are rare, unreliable, or non-existent. As a result, visitation rates drop, emotional connections weaken, and the likelihood of reoffending after release increased significantly. It's a vicious circle that costs taxpayers billions every year, and more importantly, it tears apart families and weakens communities. We believe distance of money should never be a barrier to keeping families connected. Our solution is simple, scalable, and designed to create real impact. We provide convenient, safe, affordable, and supportive transportation service, aligned with prison visitation regulations and hours. Families can easily book rides through our online reservation platform, knowing they will arrive on time and get home safely. We partner directly with correctional facilities to coordinate pickup locations, security procedures, and visitation schedules. And the impact goes far beyond numbers. More visits means stronger families, better rehabilitations, lower recidivism, and safer communities. Our service delivers not only financial return on investment, but powerfully impacts social return on investment. With that, I'm gonna pass to Andrea.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, it's Andrea. I will talk about the market. So today there are 2.2 million people in prison in the US, and behind every inmate there are family, friends, and children. In total, more than 5 million loved ones are involved. These loved ones want to visit the people in prison, and these incarcerated desperately want to be visited. But on average, more than 50% of prisoners are incarcerated more than 100 miles from home. That's a long way, too far to go without a car, too expensive to go regularly. So as a result, many scheduled visits simply doesn't happen. Not for lack of desire, but for lack of solutions. Today, there are no affordable, reliable, safe, and supportive transportation systems to facilitate these visits. Our customers are these families, parents, children, spouses, friends, and even the social workers who accompany these visits. They face major obstacles such as the high cost of transport, distance, and the lack of reliable solutions. Many find themselves isolated and without alternatives. So now I will pass to Wiki.
Providing more frequent visits for prisoners isn't just about compassion, it's about creating safer and stronger communities. I personally know from my time in prison how important visits are to a prisoner. Before my wife, I did not receive regular visits and struggled with recidivism for over 15 years. I went back to prison 3 times within 6 months or less after being released. During the last 3 years of my prison sentence, I was transferred to San Diego, which for me is closer to home in Orange County. I went from the farthest city in Northern California to the farthest city in Southern California. Being within 100 miles to home allowed my wife to visit me weekly. The positive impact of those visits on my mental health is significant because I had not returned to prison since I was released 5 years ago. Studies show that consistent visitation can lower recidivism rates by up to 13%. That means fewer crimes, safer neighborhoods, and less taxpayer money spent on incarceration. But it's more than just numbers. These visits help heal families, especially children who face lifelong challenges when separated from a parent. By fostering these connections, we not only support rehabilitation, but also reduce dependence on public assistance and promote healthier, more stable communities. Investing in prison visitation is investing in public safety, economic efficiency, and the power of human connection to transform lives. I know that they work because the increased visits did it for me. I wish there was a service like PVS sooner.
Thank you, Ricky. So, hi, it's Andrea again. I will talk about why now. So, today, the families of prisoners are faced with a double penalty, the incarceration of a loved one and the challenges of visiting them. Yet, visits are a key factor in the fight against recidivism. They help maintain an essential human link which promotes rehabilitation and reduces the number of people returning to prison. The reality is that there is no reliable public transport system to get to prison. The only solutions are informal, rare, and often expensive. So, as a result, many visits are cancelled. At the same time, there has been a profound societal political shifts. Institutions are beginning to recognize the importance of family ties in the reintegration process. There is a real momentum. Society is ready to support initiatives that reduce recidivism. At PVS, we embrace this momentum with a strong social mission to make prison visits accessible to all, strengthen family bonds, and contribute actively to reducing recidivism. Now, concerning our competitive advantages, today our main competitor is One Family Transportation, who offers transportation services to enable families to visit their incarcerated loved ones. However, they operate vans with at least 8 passengers and do not adjust the price based on the number of riders, whereas we continuously adjust our prices to make the service as affordable as possible. Additionally, our service is more convenient and flexible, with fewer passengers per ride. The only other dedicated options available are either informal, such as carpooling between families organized via forums or on Facebook groups, or with local associations organizing a few trips a year. Otherwise, there are taxis, ride shares, or public transportation, but they are unaffordable, unreliable, inconvenient, and unsupportive, so not at all suitable for regular customers on a tight budgets. So prison visiting solutions fills this gap. Our strength lies in offering a specialized, affordable, reliable, supportive, and recurring solution designed exclusively for the families of prisoners. Besides all of this, our advantages are a low price as well as the unique experience of one of our co-founders, Ricky, who was himself incarcerated for over 20 years and therefore knows this problem and this market. So now concerning our business model, it is both simple and consistent with our social mission. We generate our revenue through the direct sales of tickets to prisoners' loved ones who wish to visit the incarcerated. So the price of a ticket is set at an accessible level well below that of lesser alternatives to remain compatible with often challenging solutions. To ensure the viability of the model, we will optimized logistics, vans that are at least 80 to 90% full, with grouped trips planned according to demand, which allows us to minimize costs and maximize efficiencies. In the medium term, partnerships with associations or even public subsidies could strengthen our model, but they are not necessary in the short term. Our business model is therefore scalable, profitable, and perfectly aligned with our social impact mission. So thank you. Now I will pass to Wiki.
The proof of concept is that there are already prison transportation services trying to come into the market. As the founder, I bring firsthand experience to the table as to what is needed in the prison community, and as a visitor to family and friends, I know how many barriers I face in trying to go visit my little sister in Aliceville, Alabama. Although prison visiting solutions will begin with a pilot program in California, the goal is to become nationwide within a 5 to 7 year time span and making visiting available for families throughout the country. The unique combination of people that I have met throughout my journey and the direct access that I have to them creates opportunities for prison visiting solutions that other people do not have. The structure of the business as a public benefit corporation allows the business to seek funding from different sources while allowing the dependency on myself for its success to be diminished because of the board and advisory board overseeing the direction of where the company is going. Prison visiting solutions is between the alpha and beta stages. There is confirmation that a need exists based on our survey feedback, and it is more than just an idea because we do have scheduled meetings coming up with members of our advisory board to help grant draft proposals and help fundraise. For our financial projections, Prison Visiting Solutions is strategically positioned for sustainable growth, with van occupancy at a minimum of 7 and maximum of 14 passengers. The financial projections reflect a conservative leveling off at just 11 passengers. Even so, we anticipate a modest profit in year 1 due to a very lean operation and investing in outreach, infrastructure, and community trust. With steady growth through years 2 and 3, we project profits to rise steadily as we grow sales and manage costs. Supported by expanded service areas and deeper platform engagement, by year 4, our profit is expected to more than triple, and by year 5, we project it to quadruple. These projections are built on a model that reflects moderate demand, bolstered by support from nonprofit partnerships. Our scalable model allows us to grow efficiently while staying mission focused on reducing recidivism. The team. Prison Visiting Solutions is led by 3 co-founders, Sarah Lee, Andrea Gallet, and myself, Ricky Guerrero. Sarah Lee brings expertise in strategic planning, technology integration, and system design, enhanced by her international experience at the U.S. Embassy in Rome, where she focused on strategic analysis and collaboration. Andrea Gallet, with a master's in corporate finance, offers a global perspective aimed at expanding prison visiting solution services internationally. I myself, as the founder, have a bachelor's and lifelong relationship in entrepreneurship. I know through personal experience the emotional toll of what it feels like to go over 20 years without a visit from my parents during my incarceration. I have an extensive network into the prison system via family and friends that are currently incarcerated. I also have personal support and contacts from prison reform groups that are actively involved with reducing recidivism, such as some of our advisory board members. Now to the dream team. This is what I bring to the table. I bring Catherine Hoke Jackson, who is an expert in forming nonprofit and public benefit corporations. She would advise us on financial strategy, grant acquisition, and pricing models, ensuring operational sustainability. We have Oren Abrams, a retired entrepreneur offering strategic guidance and mentorship rooted in decades of business leadership and community based volunteering within the prisons. We also have Scott Budnick, who is the founder of the Anti Recidivism Coalition, ARC, and a leader in criminal justice reform. He will support organizational design, pilot planning, and social impact measuring metrics. Together, we can make it happen.
We are seeking $150,000 in setup funding in exchange for 30% equity. This funding will be used to expand our virtual flat, launching our full online booking platform, and cover 6 months of operational costs, including leasing, staff training, and outreach. To minimize risk, our funding team will personally guarantee the first vehicle and rotate as drivers to offset initial labor costs. We project break-even by year 3, with net income exceeding $77,000 by then, and expansion potential beyond California to meet the nationwide demand for families-focused reentry solutions. Investor returns are anticipated through acquisition by nonprofit or social enterprise or invest buyout. Our goal is to deliver a 5x return on investment within 5 years, all while creating measurable social impact. By investing in prisoners visiting solutions, you are not only invested in scalable, profitable growth, you are also helping rebuild families, communities, and futures. With that, I'm going to pass to Ricky.
So, just to do a recap, Prison Visiting Solutions offers safe, affordable, and supportive transportation for families visiting loved ones in prisons. By strengthening family bonds, we aim to help reduce recidivism and make our community safer. Our sliding scale pricing ensures low income families have access while we measure the impact that regular visits have on reentry success. In California, it would cost just a little over $20,000 per person to visit their loved ones on every scheduled visiting day, almost 7 times less than the amount that it costs to house each prisoner. The money saved is substantial enough to be worth a try to invest in keeping people out of prison. Supported by partners like Hustle 2.0 and ARC, Prison Visiting Solutions serves underserved communities through social media, community outreach, direct booking, and referral rewards, all to reconnect families and remove some of the barriers from prison visiting. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. Any comments or feedback is welcome.